Okay, Sharita, I was just about to make some videos for my class. So I saw that we're learning the same thing at the same time, your class and my class. Okay, so one thing you have to understand is the difference between odds in favor, odds against. See how this is odds in favor, odds against, and then you also have the word probability. So this is just honestly a matter of knowing the definitions. So if you're going to talk about probability, you're talking about the favorable outcomes of your event over the total. Okay, so probability has a total at the bottom. But if we're talking about odds in favor and odds against, that's different. So odds in favor, your ratio is going to be your favorable outcomes over your unfavorable outcomes. And I'll explain that in just a minute, okay? And then your odds against is just the reverse of that. So the unfavorable outcomes go on top and the favorable outcomes are on the bottom. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, I know that probability has to have a total. So if I come over here, this says I was given the probability, and I know this is a probability because of the P right there, okay, since it has a P. So the probability of event A is 7 over 9, which means that there were 7 favorable outcomes, okay, over a total of 9 possible outcomes. So 9 is the total. So if the total's 9 and I have 7 that are favorable, then that means I have 2 that are unfavorable. And so those are the things that I use now to come down and answer the questions. So now I've broken it into pieces. I know that there are 7 favorable, there are 2 unfavorable, and there are 9 total. Okay, those are the things I know. So I'm looking for odds in favor. So when I write my ratio, I have to have favorable over unfavorable. And so my favorable, we know from up here, was 7, and my unfavorable was 2. So the odds in favor would be 7 over 2. Okay, odds against. Remember, for odds against, we just reverse those. So for my odds against, I need unfavorable over favorable. And so going back up here and looking how I broke it down, so my unfavorable was 2 and my favorable was 7. So these are the 2 answers that you were looking for, and they are in lowest terms. So you're good to go. Okay, so now be careful. So you are looking, you're on the lookout for what is given. So let me change this up just a little bit, and I'll write over here in the corner. Okay, so suppose that I'm given odds against is 3 over 4. Okay, so then I have to label those. That way I know I can answer every question that they can ask me. So odds against. This would be unfavorable on the top, so I'm labeling them, and favorable on the bottom, label them, okay? So now you can answer any question. So what if I ask you for the probability of the event? Then you know that that is favorable over total. So favorable, we know from here, is 4. Now, I don't see the word total anywhere. Well, we know that if my favorable and my unfavorable, if I add them together, that's my total. So my total is 7. Okay? So my total would be 3 plus 4. So it's 7. So my probability of the event would be 4 over 7. But what if I ask you for odds in favor? Then you want favorable, which was 4, over unfavorable, which was 3. So you should be able to go between all of these. Hope this helps.